days. Is she
She's
1?
1.5 now.
Wow, 1.5. Time just goes so fast, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
we were having a little bit of a chat earlier because you had a birth that, you had a little bit of sort of healing to do after. So not that I want to put words and I want to obviously hear from yourself, but you had a little bit of a sort of a slower transition out of the house, didn't you, to heal and to make friends.
Yeah, it took me a little bit longer, I think, after Dara was born to kind of have the confidence
Mm,
to be with her by myself. Initially, my husband was there, and then when he returned to work, my mom came to visit. So it was coming to the class was sort of the first time that I left the house with just me and Dara, and the first time I was driving myself after she was born.
mm.
So it felt like a big milestone in that sense. So I was a little nervous kind of before the class because it was like a big step for me.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got there, the ambiance and the feeling of walking into this whole calming environment was really, it put me at ease kind of immediately. And I think since I was more relaxed, then Dara was more relaxed at the class as well. So it was a big step for me to come, but I'm really really glad that I did, because sometimes you get in your head a bit and think, oh, I'll just make an excuse and I won't go, but I was really really glad that I did.
Oh, that's great. And I remember that sometimes it was just really nice to pause because Dara was quite a lovely, sweet little diddy baby, wasn't she? And I remember so much. It was just lovely just to wrap her up and snuggle in that little muslin. And I remember she could just come into the bath when she wanted, and quite often just to pause and to just to be there. Really, it was such a nice experience to facilitate that for yourself.
Yeah, no, I think it was really great because it gave us a chance to kind of connect in that kind of warm, calming environment. And when she was ready to go in the water, she went in, and when she was ready to come out, she came out. There was no pressure to kind of do any other activities in the bath other than kind of relax and move in the water. So I think both of us enjoyed it just because it was just a nice way to feel and move around without thinking, oh, I need to quickly get her clean, or she's unhappy, hurry hurry. It was just what she wanted if she was in, what she wanted if she wanted to come out. So it was just kind of taking her guidance of where do we want to go, in this session.
Yeah, because it's true, isn't it? When we're new parents, we've got our little baby for the first time, it is that just learning experience together. And I think you're right, the communication and cues, the nice thing is that you've got two hands and full attention. Sometimes when we're busy, at home, we're trying to juggle, aren't we? Or particularly when we're doing baby swimming, there's a lot more going on. So when
Yeah.
we're dry, we've got that almost like 100% undiluted experience. But how was bath times for you after? And did bath babies help just ripple out generally to your home life?
I think it helped enormously. So it didn't it didn't occur to me beforehand that I could that I could slow down the whole process to really make it an experience rather than we need to get in the bath because it's time to get clean. I personally find showers and baths to be boring, so my personal method is get in, get out as fast as you can. Um, so I was kind of using the same technique with Dara, which is let's get in, let's get this done, let's get out, but kind of slowing the whole process down, learning the techniques of different cues to let your baby know that it's time for bath time, gentle stroking along the body, really getting them into this calming, relaxing state, and then slowly letting them have a bit of relaxation in the water to kind of let the water come around them. And we're not just here to get clean. This is really about, relaxing and slowing down the day. It was like a completely different mindset for how I normally go about cleaning. So it was incredibly helpful in that way. And
Mm,
then, after we were going to the classes, then all of the bath times following were much less stressful because
mm.
neither one of us were fighting the other about, what we wanted to do at that time. So even if, um, Dara made it clear to me that, actually this wasn't the right time for bath time, we just kind of finished up and okay, we can either try again later or we'll try again tomorrow. Like it doesn't have to be every day a success. It can be as much as we want it to be, and then, step back and say, okay, that's enough. So it was just about changing my mindset about what do we want bath time to achieve. And then also saying it's okay if, you know, it's longer or shorter, either way. So it was a complete change for me.
Yeah, nice. And I think it's just that affirmation, isn't it? And reassurance, actually, that, we can learn lots of different things in the bath, but in babies, sort of right time and right way. And, we can almost like store them up as parents in our memory bank and go, okay, so she might not want to do that right now, but next week or next month, that will
Yeah.
be really great. But I think the group was so well bonded, wasn't it? First time, well, not all the first time mums, but first time bath experiences with their little baby. And what I really enjoyed was facilitating the space, really, and just holding space for new parents to let go, share, talk to each other. Are you in contact with anybody from the group still?
Yeah, a few of the moms, I think maybe 3 of them that
Oh,
we're
that's
still in contact,
amazing.
and
That's
it's
really great.
it's really nice to kind of, we meet up every so often, so it's nice
Yeah,
to see kind of how the babies are, getting on
yeah,
from when we first met them because they were all so little then, and they're, not quite so little now. Um, and then to just kind of catch up, how are the babies doing? How are the moms doing?
yeah.
So it was nice in that sense because sometimes being a new mom is kind of like being like single, that you're trying to
Mm,
like make friends and meet people so that you have someone to talk about or someone to meet up with. So it was nice to kind of have that space, and I never felt rushed that like when the class was over that I
yeah.
needed to quickly pack up and get out. It felt like an open space, if the babies were hungry, if they needed to change, if we wanted to chat for another 5 minutes, that it was really our space and our time to kind of stay and have a bit of mom time as well
Mm.
as the time for the babies.
Yeah, that is so important because we do need that in our busy world today, that connection. And it was always my intention to build community and really, really strong connections. When you're doing bath time at home, how's she in the bath now? Are you using still any of these sort of like the nurturing touch and calming? Or now that she's a little bit bigger, she's going for it in the bath?
Well, so now that she's bigger, she's just excited to really get in the bath and play.
Oh,
So we have a
nice.
lot more toys around,
Yeah.
um, different, I think in one of the classes you gave us like a little blue ball. So like that's actually
Yeah.
still quite a favorite. So
Oh, that's
we play with that a
amazing.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, now she's just kind of excited to get in the bath because she like, I mean, there's, days where it's just playtime and days where it's, clean time, but she's excited every time to get in the bath. And we use it as part of like the wind down to bedtime.
Oh, nice.
So, she goes upstairs and she has a bath with my husband. So it's a nice chance for them to kind of, again, step back from the responsibilities of the house and
Yeah.
have that time together in the evening. And, they play a bit, they clean. And then when she comes out and, they have a cuddle with the towel. So like there are still some aspects, I think, from Bath Babies that we use the immediate in the towel have a hug. That one we still do because she still really enjoys like that immediate contact after she's come out of the water.
Yeah.
And then, he gets her in her pajamas and I give her a story and a song. But she's much more, there's been times where we've skipped bath time, either she's not well or somehow the evening's just completely gotten away from you and it's much later. And for sleep, she definitely settles down much better if we've had kind of that time to step away from the day and explore in the water compared to when we've had to skip it. It just doesn't seem to, she doesn't relax as well.
Oh, that's really great. I'm glad, it's really glad that you've got that little blue ball. I do love adding little things into the class and people to take away. So that's really, really nice. Yeah, that she's still got that because you're now swimming. So the transition from the classes to the pool, not that we want to compare against other parents, but just yourself personal experience with Dara. Did you find that when if you think about if you hadn't done Bath Babies, going to the changing rooms to the pool, do you feel that it really set you up? How does that experience actually translate for you?
I think I felt a lot more confident
Mm,
in kind of all of the aspects around that first class. So the
Mm.
first step was, getting all of my stuff together to leave the house, because it's not just the diaper bag, it's then also like all of your swimming stuff. So I knew what it was I wanted to take with me. You get to the changing area, and I want to, get to the pool area on time. So then it's, changing your baby into the swimming stuff. So I knew what it was that I was going to expect when I got there. So I didn't have any of that like first time doing something anxiety. I knew exactly what to expect. And I was able to kind of move with purpose rather than moving frantically.
Yeah.
Um, and then once we kind of got towards the water, into the water, I didn't have any nervousness around, is Dara going to like this? Am I going to feel comfortable having the baby with me in the water? I felt confident through every sort of step
Nice.
that I knew what to expect, and I knew within reason how Dara was going to react.
Yeah, cool.
So there was no nervousness around
That's
how
really
was this
good.
going to go.
Yeah, no, that's lovely. And as you say, that vibration can actually sometimes just, if we're holding it, we don't sometimes aren't aware or conscious of it. It can ripple out a little bit to our babies. They're so good at picking up on us, aren't they? Did you
Yeah.
recognize any of the holder moves that we were doing in Bath Babies? The swoosh and the whoosh and the little glitter splashes.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that's
those
nice.
initial classes when I was like into the main pool. A lot of the areas kind of carried over, the hello song when you do the swishing with the babies to kind of let them feel the movement of the water, and then, trying to get them to do splashes with their hands or their feet. So the first level of swimming, from Bath Babies into the
Yeah,
main pool, it felt like a seamless transition of, this is the next stage. And so we'll start with some of the things we already know and then bring in more, to
yeah.
kind of
Oh, that's
continue
good.
moving forward.
Yeah, no, it is meant to have that little bit of a connection. So it does feel familiar from the bath, but also you can practice at home, in the bath time or your own, your own time in public pools. But I've just got such lovely memories of like her little toes. And I remember you just so gently after the bath, she would just lie there in gorgeous, like, I remember because she was quite small, this huge towel and this little face
Yeah.
and then her little toes. And I remember you sort of just having that moment and her just looking up at you. And for me, it was so nice to see that connection. But how was it for you?
Oh, it was I really, I don't know. It didn't occur to me that there were other ways to kind of connect with my baby. So I knew about cuddling. We cuddle. I knew about breastfeeding. We were breastfeeding. So I knew that there were ways to kind of connect with the baby, but I didn't know that there were other ways. We didn't go to kind of a baby massage class, or kind of something along those lines. So learning how to kind of gently touch and sort of stimulate different areas of the baby while, maintaining eye contact. I don't know exactly how far she was able to see at that point, but it felt like she was looking at me and I was definitely
Oh,
looking at her. So
definitely. There was,
like
yeah.
so I'm sure it felt good for her, but it made me feel good inside to be like, this is, we're having a moment here. So yeah, it was, I don't know, warming.
Yeah, no, that's a lovely word. No, that's really great. And yeah, I just really remember her and this huge towel and this lovely little face just beaming up and her little toes. There's little things that just sort of stick into your memory when you look around the class.
Yeah.
It's always heartwarming for a practitioner as well to get that sense of reassurance and to silently and actually not even always offer, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. We can just sit there and almost see this like love unfold, which is really really nice. And you were saying that swimming is one of the classes that you're keeping up as well. We don't obviously say, oh, it was definitely Bath Babies, but do you feel having that firm foundation and it's really interesting to know that swimming now is one of the classes or the class that you're carrying on with.
Yeah, I think so. I did a lot of baby classes, when I was on my maternity, part, to help with sort of mental stimulation for Dara, but
Yeah.
also to just kind of, get out of the house, a bit of a change of scenery to kind of have different activities during the week. So when I returned to work when she was 1, my husband actually still takes her to swimming on
Oh,
Fridays. So, of all of the different activities that we did during the maternity, the swimming is actually the only one that we've kept up with. And both my husband and I think that it's really important kind of life skill to be confident in the water and to be able to take care of yourself in the water. We really enjoy sailing, so I want my children to be able to have that confidence, when we're on the boat or, when we're by the beach, to really be able to say, I can go in the water and not feel nervous. I want them to be able to enjoy it the way that I enjoy it. So, yeah, we definitely have kept up with the swimming. And
that's
I think, she likes to play in the water now, so I think it's working.
Oh, no, that's great. Well, it's always nice as parents to be able to pass on our passions, and, particularly when it is a sport or a hobby, and something that's so nice as a family time, sailing. So, as I say, it's great. And having that foundations from little ones, a lot of parents say, why start early? Well, actually, they will create this solid foundation and connection to the water, as you say. Then when they're older, they just have that, and they just jump in the water and they're happy, and they turn around and back again. Then they haven't almost got that little bit more of a cautious side when we have started early.
Yeah.
But amazing. Not that I want to put you on the spot, but are there, if I had to say to other parents, because Bath Babies is a bit of a new concept and we're rippling it out to help other parents and support them and create this lovely first time experience. But if I was saying to other parents, are there sort of 3 words for you in your experiences that would describe Bath Babies?
I think the first one would be calming. The
Mhm.
whole environment was really geared to taking a step away from the day, relaxing into, what we're here to do, and really making a calming environment so that the whole time, was relaxing for both the parent and the baby. So the first one I think would be calming. The second I think would be eye-opening,
Mhm.
because it helped me see about slowing down for myself kind of in different areas of my life, um, in relation to how I deal with Dara, taking a step back, kind of trying to enjoy the different stages or the different activities we're doing, um, and seeing the different ways that I can interact with her, not just sort of cuddles or playing, but, doing something different, with massaging or, moving her around in the water, different ways to interact. So it was definitely eye opening.
Mhm.
Um, and
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
yeah, I don't know. I think just enjoyable,
Nice.
because she enjoyed it, I enjoyed it,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
and sort of, after the first session, where you're a little nervous that it's something new, then I was looking forward to each subsequent session because I knew what was coming, and I
Yeah.
knew that she enjoyed it. So I was like, oh, good, we're going to swimming now, and she would, just look at me like, nah. But yeah, no, I found it really enjoyable.
Oh, no, that's nice. Well, as I say, sort of happy babies, happy parents, and it's that vice versa, that little ping pong, isn't it? So that's
Yeah,
great. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I just, feel really just warm and inside myself, to have created this and then to see the ripple effect so many years later. That's for me is everything, to know that, we're creating something special, but it's rippling out into all areas of life, and swimming, and creating something special for families as well. So oh, thank you, Nina, and my love to Dara. I'm going to
thank
pause
you.
it there.